Remember, there's a 40-second delay.
You're a 40-second delay. I hope you weren't expecting me to be a good girl.
Okay. Welcome everybody to the first
inaugural
podcast of the Legends Cave called Cryptid Conversations.
Oh, I love it.
Now, Cryptid Conversations, what we're going to be doing on this podcast is we're going to be talking cryptids. We're going to be talking all sorts of cryptids. Each episode is going to be different. Each episode is going to have a little bit more in-depth conversation depending on each individual cryptid that we bring up for said episode. So,
hey,
I decided that
Brother Blue.
Yes.
How about we start with introductions? Because
I'm going there. I'm getting there.
I have no patience.
I know you have no patience. Okay. So, with that being said, I'm going to introduce everybody who's here on our wonderful panel.
That's a great idea.
Okay. You're such a pain in my ass. Anyway. First off, we're going to introduce the wonderful Jasper to my immediate right. Jasper.
Hello.
Welcome. Jasper's from the Pacific Northwest. She brings to the table talking about cryptids from the Pacific Northwest. Torsten, you bring a specific ideology and expertise due to your geographical location of being over in Great Britain. being from that wonderful continent and
it's not a continent, it's a country.
I'm saying European.
We're not anymore. We left.
Oh, that's true. You're not part of the European continent anymore. Anyway, Great Britain. And Michelle drinks coffee. The beautiful Michelle is here. She brings with her sassiness, her loveliness.
I've seen the Chupacabra.
She's originally from Texas, now hailing from West Virginia. Oh, sorry, Virginia Beach. Sorry, Virginia Beach.
I will come at you, sir.
Listen, it's the first podcast. I'm a little bit flustered. Give me a break.
West Virginia. Anyway, yeah. Go.
So, with that being said, welcome everybody, and let's get this shit started.
That's a great idea.
We'll start off with a little bit of small talk, and then we'll move on to the actual topics. First off, how's everybody's week?
It was a long week for me.
It was very short for me. My boss cut my hours.
Ooh, that's not fun.
It was good until I came down with man flu.
Oh, which means you were barely sick, but you were dying?
No, I still am, hence why I got
that's right.
the Rudolph nose and sound.
Dude, I've been sick since Christmas, so.
You've been sick a lot longer
than my entire life, mentally.
Listen,
yeah.
Jasper, don't start. We already got one sassy ass down below me. We don't need another one.
Yes, that's true.
Anyway. Okay, well, so everybody's
how was yours?
week.
You didn't answer your how was
my
your
week? My week has been very long.
Everybody healthy at this point?
I was off last week, and this was the first week back at work, and it just kind of kicked my ass. Family's happy, healthy, rocking and rolling. So good to move.
Sebastian tried to steal my bacon this morning for breakfast.
I'm not surprised. Bacon is bacon.
Bacon is bacon.
Yeah. No, he gave 0 Fs on just jumping right up on the counter and just like.
For those who don't know and are now joining us, Sebastian is one of Michelle's cats. Michelle is our resident crazy cat lady.
It's true.
And She Sebastian is the newest addition to the family, so
He's the baby
he's the
of 8,
baby.
which means it's the same rules as parenting. Once you get to a number that is past 2 or 3, you stop really trying to stop them from doing things because who cares at this point. So, oh, you're on the counter. Okay, whatever. I don't care anymore. Oh, you're trying to eat my dinner. All right, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's 5 months. He's insane.
exactly. Now,
I would,
okay,
I would have to agree with that. With the more than 2 children,
Yeah.
you start to not give a crap.
Yeah.
there's
I
a
mean,
reason why I stopped at 1.
Speaking from personal experience, I remember like when my oldest brother was like, you have to be in the house by 9 o'clock, and we will not have dinner until everyone is sitting at the table, and we all have to do this thing, this. And then by the time I was a teenager, it was like, yeah, whatever, just be in the house, lock the door.
Makes sense.
We'll see when you get here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now that we've gotten all the wonderful pleasantries out of the way, our first round of interesting cryptids from our home states, our home origins. Myself
Wait,
as
hold
the
on.
host, what?
Are we saying what is it, the cryptid from our area? Like talking about the most famous cryptid from our specific zone?
We're gonna go with. I'm gonna say this. Yeah, the most specific, most interesting cryptid from your home area.
Got it. Thank you.
Um,
Come on.
Now, mind you, I am from New Jersey.
Yeah.
We have a hockey team named after our most famous cryptid, and that would be the Jersey Devil from the Pine Barrens. Now, there are several different renditions of this wonderful legend, and this wonderful legend stems back all the way back to the 18th century. Now, it stems back all the way to the 18th, all the way back to the 18th century in the remote Pine Barrens region of southern New Jersey. Now, anybody who knows what the Pine Barrens are, Pine Barrens, it's mainly pine trees and sandy dirt ground. It's not ideal for farming.
It's called barrens because it's kind of a barren landscape for
Yeah.
farming.
There's a lot of swamps in that area.
Mm-hmm.
It only makes for ideal crops of cranberries, which actually, if you know anything about cranberries, Ocean Spray cranberry juice comes from New Jersey.
Yep.
Based out of the New Jersey Pine Barrens. So, yeah, we like that.
Mother Leeds has been identified in real life, some say, as Deborah Leeds, and her husband Japhet Leeds, who had 12 children, and they were around 1736.
Yes. 18th century. Let's see. Mother Leeds. Let's see. She became pregnant with their 13th child, and she damned said child by saying, "Let this one be born a devil." Now, there are certain aspects to the legend that say that Mother Leeds was actually a witch. No actual documentation to that.
About 50-50. Most just say that she was just a normal, like,
she was just a normal woman.
Time
and the reason why she said
Christian-
let this one be born a devil was because her husband, Jeff Leeds, was not very hands-on with the children.
No.
Which, during that time, not really a bad thing. Also, there's parts of the people say that they were destitute and this, that, and the other thing. They were not. They actually were a pretty well-to-do family in the state. And there's still Leeds members of the family that live in the Pine Barrens of New Jersey.
Also, side note, Everyone is familiar with the Poor Richard's Almanac, correct? The
No.
Leeds family, they had an almanac that was before the Poor Richard's Almanac, and that's where they got most of their money. There was a competition between those two men, and that's Jeffett's son, Daniel's son, Titan, inherited the business.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they were
They're fairly well to
okay.
do.
They were comfortable. They were
Yeah.
comfortable for the time.
For the time period, they were actually very well to do.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with that.
By today's standards, lower middle class,
Like us.
like me. Exhausted and frustrated by her large brood of children and the lack of help from her husband, when she cursed the child and said, "Let it be born a devil." Let's see. When the baby was born, it came out blonde hair, blue eyes, beautiful child, healthy to all who were present. And then began to change almost immediately. It transformed into a hideous creature with leathery wings, a goat's head, cloven hooves, and forked tail. Supposedly, it killed the midwife, attacked its mother, and flew up the chimney, disappearing into the dark woods of the New Jersey Pine Barrens, where it's said that it still lives today. Now, this is a quite a fantastical story, especially when you consider it was from the 1800s. The There are other portions of the story that it killed half the family, that it only beat everybody in the family, everybody who was present, including the midwives and everything like that, and that it's a fantastical story, beautiful legend. Um, Also, the look and appearance of said Jersey Devil coincides with Native American legends of a dragon, quote unquote, that roamed the Pine Barrens, which is more closely, if you look at the general look of the creature, more closely resembling a snellygaster. And we'll get into that in another episode.
Snallygaster is mine from Virginia.
Oh, well, there you go.
Mine. Dibs.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. This creature is said to be roughly 7 to 8 feet tall.
In some accounts.
Some accounts.
Much smaller.
Other accounts say that it's anywhere from 5 to 6 feet tall. Now, for a human child to turn into a quote unquote devil, does that automatically make it immortal? That's my question.
Yes. In the case where said child is magically transformed, that means that you, one, believe that there is magic, and two, believe that there is the ability for that transformation, which means that there is the inherent nature that that thing is no longer a human, that it is now substantiated over into the realm of immortal monsters kind of thing.
Okay.
Mm.
Now, here's
Hold
another
on,
thing.
Torsten, I feel like he's about to say something.
Yeah, he's got something to say.
He's got the face.
Go ahead, Torsten.
Oh, I'd agree. I'd agree with that, but not necessarily, because not everything that is of another plane is automatically immortal.
I would agree with that. I am saying that in a world where if you are saying that this thing is a magical creature that turned into this thing, that you would most likely believe that if this thing happened, that it was probably so.
Oh, yeah.
In the 1800s, these people who believed in witches and magic and devils and demons and those things, they probably would have seen this as some sort of magical feat and would have said, oh yeah, this is what's happening. Now we, in the world of 2025, oh god, that hurt to say, um have cameras and the internet and gigantic iPads where we can just Google stuff and go, yeah, no.
I'm not going to argue with that. Jasper, you got anything to say?
No.
Um, not really.
Not
Sorry.
really. Not really.
Okay.
I also want to say that my favorite New Jersey cryptid is the Cape May sea monster.
Okay. Now, the Cape May sea monster is interesting. There's also the Barnegat Bay sea monster.
Yep.
There's also the, hang on, let me
Sandy
roll
Hook
it up here.
sea serpent.
Sandy Hook sea serpent. And
The Hoppy.
let's see.
You have the Hoppy.
Hang on. The Asbury Park sea monster.
Yep. There are quite a few water related cryptids.
Atlantic City sea monster.
Yep.
There's multiple ones that come from sea monster sightings that come from New Jersey.
Yeah. I would like to take a small journey into the Cape May sea monster and my thoughts about Cape May sea monster. At the time when it was seen in the early 1800s, I don't think people had really understood the Chincoteague ponies. So the original sea monster was described as a serpent with a horse's head.
Okay, and explain what is a Chincoteague pony.
So a Chincoteague pony, there are a plethora of wild ponies that live near Chincoteague Island, in the area that is between Blue's house and my house, along the eastern shore of Virginia, up into Maryland, up into New Jersey. They've run wild for hundreds and hundreds of years. Most likely, they were the offspring of horses that were, let's just say, their riders were unalived by the original Americans.
Okay,
There you go.
there you go.
And
Okay,
they like to
so
swim. They go swim.
that's my first. That was my first one. So now let's go on to Jasper. Jasper, what do you have for us from out there in the Great Pacific Northwest in terms of
So
cryptid sightings?
there's several cryptids of Washington. Let me pull up the list of Washington cryptids real fast.
There are quite a few that are really cool too.
Yeah, there's some interesting
I'm
things
sorry,
out
but
there.
as soon as I saw Bat Squatch, I lost it.
One of them happens to be on my hoodie. That is,
One of them is you, basically.
yeah, it's basically me on a really bad fucking day.
So we've got two giant octopuses, one from Tacoma Narrows and one from the giant Pacific octopus. We've got the dragon of Lake Chelan, Sasquatch, and Batsquatch.
Yes, I love Bat Squatch.
Hedborosaurus, also known as Caddy, the sea serpent. And we've also got the Gumbaroo, which is one of the ones I did some research on. And I'm probably going to horribly read this, but Backstack Wallenuxiwe.
That's exactly how I would have pronounced it because I'm looking at it too. The
Yeah,
back wall and nucks away. Yeah, yeah.
I don't
That
even
thing is weird. It's got the mouths all over it, like
Which is like nightmare fuel.
Yes,
nightmare
it's straight
fuel.
up nightmare fuel.
Yes.
Okay, so which one are you going to be telling us about?
Do you want to hear about the Gumbaroo or the dragon of Lake Chelan?
I'm going to go with the dragon.
I vote Gumbaroo because he looks cute.
Okay.
It's up to you. It's
Thorsten, you're
one
the
and
deciding
one,
vote.
so we need a
Gumbaroo.
Gumbaroo it is. Gumbaroo, go
in
ahead.
face.
Right, there was far less information on that one, so that's totally fair. I could only find 2 actual stories
I'd never heard of the
aside from the
gumbaroo, which is why I'm now interested.
All right, go ahead, Jasper. Tell us about the gumbaroo.
words. I'm looking at them. Okay, so roughly the size of the black bear, the gumbaroo is quite thankfully rare because it's terrifying enough. It's said to have smooth black skin and is completely hairless aside from its bushy beard and the thick eyebrows.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been seen from Washington all the way down to California. The gumbaroo is said to make their home in old burnt out cedar trees, which some say is what causes the skin to be so black. Um, the animal's skin is nearly impervious to harm. Apparently, bullets and arrows bounce off and are more likely to ricochet back on the one firing at the gumbaroo, which is also terrifying.
Mm.
It does have one very good weakness,
That is an
fire.
adorable picture of it.
Very nice.
It is very weak to fire. It said that if it even comes into contact with flame, it will spontaneously combust.
Sometimes I wish I could spontaneously combust.
Oh, you do, but
I do. There are
But
some days.
some do say that the reason there's so few gumbaroos is because of all the wildfires that occur in Washington down to California,
Mhm.
just making it so they just spontaneously combust. There's theories that when you hear an explosion during a fire in the woods, it's a gumbaroo. It spends most of its time in hibernation, thankfully, only coming out when it's super hungry. And when it does come out, it can eat as much as a horse, and it can distend the stomach, but it doesn't even cause any sort of discomfort for the gumbaroo. I think that's where we get the saying, "I'm so hungry, we can eat a horse."
That would be
Yeah.
That's an
Go ahead.
interesting idea.
I did read one little excerpt on one of the sites that I looked at it, and apparently, according to some, after being burned, if a human inhales the particles of the beast, the organs will get coated with rubber, which is easily misdiagnosed with tuberculosis.
Ooh.
And
okay,
apparently, it does have a
that's
natural enemy.
crazy.
It does have a natural enemy.
Yes, the timberdoodle, which will clamp down its jaw and only lets go once it hears thunder.
Well, I've been called a timberdoodle before.
I'm not surprised.
And let me pull up a picture of the timberdoodle because it looked adorable.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Somebody pop up a picture of this thing because I am intrigued.
Timbernoodle. Okay. Did you find one,
Timberdoodle.
Jasper?
Let me see if I can find it.
Okay, we got another person going to be joining us real quick. Everybody, please welcome in Ice Phoenix.
Hey, Phoenix.
Hello.
Phoenix. Wait. Oh my gosh, the timbernoodle is so cute.
Michelle, show a picture of that timberdoodle.
Hello.
Let's see what this thing looks like. Oh my goodness.
He's so cute.
It's an adorable rat.
He's a bird. He's a bird. Timbernoodle.
Adorable little rat
Oh,
bird.
cat.
Oh my goodness. The interesting things you find from wonderful mythology.
Oh, mythology's chock full of absolutely wonderful things that make you go, huh.
Yeah. Now, Jasper, I got to say, yours is definitely an interesting little creature. And I love the whole idea that that's where we get hungry as a horse from. So hungry I could
Yeah.
eat a horse. So I like that idea. I think that one right now takes the cake as best one so far. And that's only because I'm a fat guy and I don't care. All right, Torsten, you're next. What do you got up for us, sir? What's one of the greatest ones that you got for us from overseas?
Well, during my research, there's actually a hell of a lot more here in the UK than what I thought there was.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
Yeah, and it's it was trying to decide which one to go with. Because we have our own version of Bigfoot over here.
Yes.
Um, we've got bat beasts. We've got mermaids, mandrakes, dragons, doppelgangers. But I'm going to go with the most famous one from here in the UK, and by far probably one of the most famous cryptozoology animals that has ever been mentioned, that even normal people know the name, and that would be Nessie, the Loch Ness monster,
Aha.
hailing from my birth country of Scotland.
You know what? People always ask where's Nessie, but nobody asks how's Nessie.
Or
That's
why
why
is
she's
Nessie?
hiding.
Hmm.
She's sad that no
Um,
one's asking her how she is.
well,
Just
the
saying.
first recorded sighting of Nessie was in AD 565.
Ooh.
Yeah, so Nessie's an old girl.
Saint Stephen?
Nessie's been around a long time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, the best part of 1500 years,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me feel really, really young. Well, I normally feel really old.
We truly are.
Um, with possibly the exception of Sasquatch and grey aliens, she's Nessie's probably one of the most talked about cryptids that there is on
Mhm.
the planet.
Most famously noted by the surgeon's photo, which was later proven to be fake.
They say it's fake. I don't care what
Well,
they say.
he even admitted that it was fake. He
Yeah.
had
He
strapped
even
a
showed how he did
dinosaur torso to a
it. Toy submarine boat.
toy submarine and put it in the lock. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to Nessie, there's no way possible for it to be anything as romantical as a plesiosaur. Because plesiosaurs were known to be in warmer waters.
Oh, and I can tell you from personal experience, even in the height of summer, Loch Ness is
It's
still a freaking
cold.
ice.
It's
It's
cold
ice
as
cold.
hell. Not to mention, it's a peat bog, technically,
Yeah.
which means surrounding trees that were felled fell into the waters and settled down on the bottom, causing peat moss to coat the bottom, which is actually more ideal for, say, eels, sturgeons, other large marine life. Now, also over in Scotland, you guys have, uh, especially in Loch Ness, there's a high concentration of both conger eel and anguilla anguilla.
Hmm.
The most I want to say that the people who think that your eel theory is correct, most are on the conger eel.
Now, okay. Now, I'm not saying that my eel theory is completely correct. I've always said it had to have been some type of precursor to the two eels themselves, because they're both very close in terms of species. Anguilla and congers, they're very close in genetics. I'm saying that Nessie could have been or is a genetic adaptation from the precursor to the two species divide.
So
That's my
Nessie's an
theory.
X-Man.
No. Well, depending on who you speak to, there's different versions of how big Nessie actually is.
Yeah.
They range from 6 to 7 foot all the way to 20 plus.
Yeah.
With different descriptions of flat bodied. Some say she has humps on it. Some say she has
You know what? I
like a
think
stegosaurus type
the
of
Black
thing.
Eyed Peas wrote a song about Nessie's humps.
Yeah, my lovely lady homes. Oh wait, I don't
Some
want to get
people
copyright
say
strike.
that she similar to an extinct species of carnivorous whale called the Baleosaurus.
Badassosaurus, is that what you said?
Baleosaurus.
Oh, I thought you said Badassosaurus,
Basilosaurus.
and that was gonna be my new favorite dinosaur.
Yeah, a basilosaur is something very similar to what people say they've seen when it comes to Nessie. Also, like I said, there's also the people who say that Nessie looks more like a plesiosaur. I I'm not going to subscribe to that idea. It's a romantic idea that just doesn't sit well with me. I look at things more from a scientific standpoint. And personally, from a scientific standpoint, they've done DNA testing of the water to see what DNA is actually in the lake. And they keep finding more eel
Loch.
DNA than anything else. So sorry,
It's a
the
higher
loch.
lake.
concentration
It's a
of eel
lake.
DNA that's found
It's a
anywhere
loch.
else.
It's got the highest concentration of eel DNA than any other loch or lake anywhere. So I think my eel
Did you
theory
know?
kind of stands on its own
But
on that respect.
on that, there are some relatives of Nessie up in the other lochs of
Yes.
Scotland.
Further to the north.
You have Morag, who is from Lake Moray in Scotland. There's we also have the Loch Folly monster, the Loch Orr monster, and Lizzie.
All of which share similar traits to Nessie, which
Yeah.
goes further on to prove my point that it could be some type of genetic precursor to an eel, because eels are known to go on land, especially Anguilla anguillus. So
Then this debate on whether Nessie has the ability to come up on the land or not.
there are several sightings that happened on land of the creature crossing the road, going down into the loch again.
There's also talk of underground tunnels.
Underground aquifers, tunnels, things that connect it to both the North Sea and also to other lochs in the general region. Now, when it comes to connecting to the North Sea aquifer has never been proven, but it is still a possibility.
Well, it's one of those things you're never going to know, because whatever they send down there, you ain't seeing jack in that.
You
in
can't
that
see
loch.
anything in that lake. Yeah.
It is the abyss
It
below
is.
5 feet.
Pardon me.
Not that I'd want to go more than 5 feet underneath that.
I wouldn't want to go in that lake, in the loch, period.
Oh, it's lovely.
As a former
No.
sailor, I can tell you this. I'm not going in water that I can't see through all the way to the bottom, and every basically a pool. I'm not going in any water unless it's a pool.
I grew
No.
up on a lake.
No. No.
I love my lake. Now in my
No.
now in my 40 my fourth decade on this planet, no, I don't want to go in the water.
I am not the apex animal off of land. I'm barely
I
the
know I'm
apex
not.
animal on land. Like,
There's a reason why I didn't join the Navy.
yeah. Yeah.
We can't hear you, Phoenix.
You can't hear what?
I was just making a smart ass remark and very happy that I.
That's fine. You're allowed to make smart ass remarks. Okay.
I was just saying, yeah, that in the Air Force. It's like if you can't stay on land, you can't deal with it.
I prefer to keep my feet on the ground. Thank you. Okay. Well, Michelle, we're gonna jump to you now.
Yep.
Gorgeous. Tell us what is one of the
So,
incredible creatures from your neck of the woods slash, or you could tell us one of the wonderful things
So-
from your home state.
yeah. All right. So I am from California, raised in Texas, but live in Virginia. I've also lived in Italy. So I'm kind of like but I've lived in Virginia for the better half of my life, and I am 10 years older than you. So, anyway, so I was
You're not
thinking
10 years
through,
older than me.
what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
She's a bit. So I was looking through, and Snallygaster was top of my list until you said the Snallygaster's name, and I didn't get the joy of being the first one who said it. So, as a person who likes to be the center of attention, I'm not going to talk about the Snallygaster now, and I am going to go with my second choice.
Oh, come on. Regale us with the tales
No.
of the Snellygaster.
No, we're going with the Devil Monkey.
Ooh, Devil Monkey.
We are going with the Devil Monkey. I mean, there are tons of really good choices for cryptids here in Virginia. I mean, the south that we have some Bigfoot sightings here too. We're, not a whole lot, but the Snallygaster. If you kind of go down into the top part of North Carolina, because I'm right there at the bottom part of Virginia, the Beast of Bladenboro, the Mothman up into the West Virginia area. But we also have Chessie, our own little Chesapeake Bay Loch Ness monster, Chessie. What'd you say?
The Bog Witch of Green Run.
My husband just called me the Bog Witch of Green Run.
Bog Witch of Green Run. Interesting.
All right, you are done, sir. Goodbye now. All right, so let's talk about the Devil Monkey. So the Devil Monkey is a vicious primate that lives in the remote wilderness of southwestern Virginia. It is said to be much smaller than they've referred to it as Bigfoot's little cousin.
Also, quite, from what I understand of the Devil Monkeys, aren't they a lot more aggressive?
They are more aggressive. They're more agile. They're fast. They leap. They've got lots of they've got a taste for livestock. Apparently, chicken. They love chicken.
Who doesn't love
I
chicken?
love chicken.
Yeah, I mean chicken. So the fun part about when you do some research into the Devil Monkey is there are literally 37 different origin stories of the Devil Monkey.
Okay.
There are some that say it was an escaped exotic pet that somehow made escaped classification somewhere. Other people say it's a supernatural one of those the what is it called, where the corridors, like the hidden corridors where like it disappear and reappear into different what's the word I'm looking for? I've lost the word.
Portals
Portals. Yes, portals. Things.
between here and the spirit realm. Yeah.
Yeah. So there have never been any people who have said, "Oh yeah, I totally saw it," other than like from far away, where it's like, but it looked like it could have been.
Okay.
So there have been lots of stories where farmers, hunters, hikers, campers have all seen it. Um, yeah, its closest similar cryptid would be the orang pendek from Sumatra.
Hmm.
They
Well,
do, yeah,
there's
yeah,
also a version that's up in Canadian lore.
yeah.
It's not called the devil monkey, but it's something similar. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it's very similar. It's about monkey size. It's small, way smaller than a Sasquatch.
Hmm.
Red eyes. It's got big ears and fangs, and it will drop down
Yeah,
on you
so
from
that
above.
is the picture of the
Okay.
Virginia devil monkey.
Here, this is the one of the Canadian one. Let's see if I can turn this
Oh,
back
that's
in.
right. We have a Canadian,
Canadian.
Canada.
This is the Canadian devil monkey.
Ooh,
Okay.
oh, he's
Yeah.
cute.
Definitely looks more of a baboon type of animal.
I don't disagree with
The
you, but
baboon mixed
Mhm.
with the kangaroo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes been referred to as a hybrid between a monkey and a wolf.
yes. We
Which
also
would
have
fall
a
along the lines of
Yeah.
a baboon.
Yep. But it's interesting because it is one of those weird cryptids that, like, if you say, "Oh yeah, the devil monkey of Virginia," people are like, "Oh yeah, I totally heard about it," except they've only heard one thing. It's like very few stories that are out there.
Yeah.
It's just it's not as popular as some of our other cryptids. I do want to give some honorable mentions.
Okay.
PT. Um, we also have the wood booger.
Wood boogers. Yep.
Wood
Those
booger.
are basic
Yep.
Bigfoot like creatures.
Bigfoot like creatures. We have the bunny man.
The bunny man.
The bunny man. So it's more of an urban legend than a cryptid, but bunny man killing people up in Northern Virginia. Flatwoods monster is also pretty cool. But yeah, the wood booger is probably my second favorite outside of the snallygaster, and possibly the wampus cat.
Wampus cat.
Wampus
We
cat.
like the many legged wampus cat.
Yeah, the wampus cat. But yeah, so that's where I'm at.
Right on, right on. Okay, Phoenix. Now
okay.
what do you got for us? Do you have
Okay.
anything from your wonderful home state? Phoenix is transplant into Canada.
I did a bunch of Alberta research, so
Okay, so she did a bunch of Alberta research. Go ahead, regale us with some
okay,
Alberta
so
research.
the biggest thing in Alberta, besides we actually have ours is Wendigos.
Okay. Now,
Wendigos are Wendigos or and all throughout Canada you'll notice that there is different dog-like creatures
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. There's the loup garou.
mhm.
Oh, I love that one.
Now, okay, now Loup Garou originated up north in
Yes,
Canada,
Was it referred
and
to as the Rougarou at some point?
it is now known
no.
as the Rougarou down in
Yes,
Louisiana.
Rougarou
Yeah.
is
Okay.
the Louisiana version. The loup garou is from Quebec City, and it's in Quebec. That's where they believe in that. There's the adlets, the bipedal dogs, basically dog people.
Okay, so Dogman.
Yes, and they're actually they're from the Inuit tribes up in the north. What? Yes, if everything's clean, yes. Um, and but there's this whole very romantic story about this young lady who didn't want to marry. She refused to marry anyone human. So she married a dog man. And they had 5 puppies and then 5 adolescents, the bipedal.
Bipedal
And
dog man.
her father was so disgusted, he tried to kill all of her children. And so she sent all of her children and her husband to this island, and that's where they live.
Interesting.
And we have the Wahili or Wahila, which is basically a giant ass wolf.
Okay, now I know a little bit about the Wahila. The Wahila is like a spirit of nature.
Ye-
It keeps the balance,
yes.
and evidently they,
In the Nahini Valley.
yeah, and evidently they. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. They war against Wendigo.
Yes.
They're constant battles with Wendigo. So anytime a Wendigo goes to like attack a human being, they will show up and
But
take out the Wendigo.
But they are so the Wahila is a group of cryptids that stay in the Nahini Valley, is their home. And if you've ever heard of the Nahini Valley, it is actually the Valley of the Headless Men.
I was literally about to say the Valley of the Headless Men.
Okay, I've heard
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
I've heard this, but I'm not familiar with it. So please
Oh, this is
You
good.
cannot go there. This
give
is a valley
give the
where
info.
no one can go. It's off limit. The Nahini Valley is off limits. It's in native territory, and the natives are very protective of this place.
The Dene people have lived in that area for over 10,000 years, and they call that the valley haunted, evil. We don't go there. We don't live there. We don't do anything there.
But
Headless
the
bodies have been
Wahila,
discovered
they're
there on multiple occasions.
Oh yes, everybody who ever goes there ends up headless, and
Yeah.
except for one woman. One woman, I cannot remember her name. I could Google
I'm
it right
looking
now.
for it because I know the exact story you're talking about.
Okay.
One woman, and she is still missing,
Yeah.
and
Really?
people still see her.
Okay, that's the woman of the valley.
Yes, the white woman of the valley.
Okay, that's what. Yeah, all right. That's the story I know is the white woman of the valley.
But that's up in the Northwest Territories, which is basically the province above us.
Yeah, which is where nobody wants to go.
Yeah, pretty much. It's really not a hospitable place. It's the wild parts.
It is the wildest wild parts of the Canadian North
Yes.
and North America. There are so many supposed things that you call that place home.
Oh, yes. Like there's
Like
Annie,
the rock giants.
I got it. Annie Lafert,
Yes.
1926.
Yeah, the stone giants live there. Supposedly there's Sasquatches up there.
There are Sasquatches. There are Wendigos up there.
There's Wendigos up in there. There's a lot of things that call that area home. And when you come in,
don't need to go there.
Yeah, people don't need to go there.
That's like the wild parts of Alberta. You just, unless you know what you're doing and unless you follow the rules, you shouldn't go there.
Oh yeah.
So
well, that's like New Jersey's got its own Bigfoot sightings here. But the thing is, ours has 3 toes.
Yes, you can have it.
I would like to call out that there is a really, really amazing video on the Valley of the Headless Men that's put out by the Lore Lodge a few months ago.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to check out. If you guys are interested, go check that out. Go check out Lore Lodge.
Yeah, and Roanoke Tales also has a really good one. I like the way Roanoke.
I love Roanoke Tales.
I like his research.
He does a lot of good research.
Yeah, he really does. the Lore Lodge is more storytelling, and
Yeah.
the Roanoke Tales is more factual data. So it depends on what
Dope.
you're looking for.
Dope.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Mr. Ballin also has a short
Mis-
on it. But
Oh yeah, Mr. Ballin, great guy, Navy SEAL. God bless him.
yeah, there's quite a few, but those are my two favorite ones. Roanoke
I
Tales is
love
probably my
Mr.
favorite.
Ballin. He's literally what plays in the background as I'm doing everything.
His stuff on some of the missing 411 stuff is amazing.
Yeah.
No, he's got so
Okay.
many channels now, it's ridiculous.
All right. So looking into everything that we've discussed today,
Mm-hmm.
here's what I'm gonna put out there, based off of interesting facts, based off of originality. I'm gonna give today's win to Jasper.
Yes. Win.
Thank
100%.
you.
Jasper gets the win. And for those not following along with us, I'm conducting this more so as a not just a podcast, but also a little bit of a game for all of us here. So Jasper, you get the win for this week.
You didn't tell me I needed to create trophies.
Yeah, I was
You
used
You need to
do
create
know
trophies.
I am the trophy.
I'm a great loser, but I'm a horrible winner. Like I
I
will
know.
have a tiara made. I will have a trophy, a 14-foot trophy with my name on it. I will have it made and die casted in some sort of metallic and spray painted it gold.
Okay.
You didn't tell me it was a
Michelle,
competition. Now it's on.
Michelle, now you have to get Terry on making a 3D printed trophy for all of
Do
us.
you know how many 3D printers we have in this house? This is a little ridiculous.
I know you have way too many.
Yeah. We have
I
two in the
want-
garage that aren't even turned on.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is.
Okay.
Hey,
we
have no
I
kids.
support this. and I'm
we
here to
accept donations
Yes,
over here.
that's what I was gonna say.
I accept
3D
donations up
printers.
here in New Jersey.
Hi. I need a 3D
You've been here. You
printer
could have
because
grabbed one and left, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything about it.
Shit, I could drive down there right now and go pick one up. Take me 6
Come
hours, but
back! Where are you going with my printer? You have to take a cat with you though. Like that's the rule. If you steal
no, I
something,
can't
you
take
have to
another
steal a
cat. I got 2 already. I got to take care of.
I can give you all.
Okay.
Lord Oliver Cromwell can definitely go with you.
I'll take Oliver Cromwell. I'll take him with me. He's chill.
Just feed him and give him somewhere to sleep in a dark place. He's fine.
Oh, then he'll love he'd love living here.
He'd love the cave.
I'm not putting any other cats down here in the cave.
Mm. I didn't ask what do we have a topic for next week so I can start the
Okay.
research because now you've
So
created a monster with this whole winning thing.
okay. So next week's topic, we're gonna go to the cryptid of all cryptids.
Okay.
We're gonna go to Sasquatch. We're gonna go to Bigfoot.
Okay.
I'm good. We've got tons here.
Now here's the thing.
Ollie, come here. Come here.
When it comes to Bigfoot,
Oliver.
it's Bigfoot from your region, your wild man.
So I get to talk about wood booger.
You get to talk about wood boogers. Jasper's got the OG. Jasper's got OG Bigfoot.
Hold on.
Ice, you're gonna have the Canadian Sasquatch.
I'm starting to Google already. Don't worry.
I know.
You have a week to research.
Torsten, you have your wild man over there.
No, we
The wild man over there.
as I was saying, when I was doing my research on UK cryptids, we do have our own version of Bigfoot.
Nice. Okay, so we'll do
everywhere
your
has a
version of Bigfoot.
That's just
New Jersey, we have our own Bigfoot.
You have Sean.
Besides me.
We actually have.
And stop using my government name.
Can I pretend that I live in somewhere in the Asiatic area because I would like to talk about the Yeti.
We will talk about Yeti in another episode.
Okay, so you're saying I have to go with
we
my
have a
actual
snow version
location.
of the Yeti.
We're gonna get to Yeti, but next week is the hide and seek champion of the world, Bigfoot.
Okay. Jasper, I congratulate you on your win.
Thank
I
you.
will make you hold please. Hold please.
Oh, I'm kind of afraid now.
A gigantic origami crane.
I love it.
Okay,
I am
now
24 away from being done with 1,000. Now I need a new project because
well, here's your new project.
Bigfoot.
No, you make the trophy.
Jasper, what origami item would you like your trophy to be made out of?
Honestly, I don't know what
do
origami
cranes
is.
and butterflies.
Origami is
frogs.
folding of paper.
That's all I can
It's
do.
the
I
Japanese
know
art of
that.
folded paper.
I can only do cranes, butterflies, and frogs. I haven't learned anything else yet. But I folded 1,000 cranes in 3 weeks.
Would you be willing to learn how to do an origami snake?
Yes. Yes.
Why am I
I
not
will write that
surprised?
down and I will learn it for you.
Okay,
Thank you.
so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this. Thank you so much for doing the research and coming and enjoying our TED Talk here today about different cryptids from our geographical regions. Like I said, next week, we're going to be talking about the king of hide and seek, the ultimate champion, Bigfoot, and how in different regions there are different lore to each one of our Sasquatches, each one of our big feet, each one of our wonderful, wonderful cryptid king, Bigfoot. So, with that being said, everybody say ta-ta for now. We'll catch you all in the next one.
Bye.
Laters.
Peace out. Love you all.
And we kept it PG the whole time.
I know. Fuck.
Right?
Shit.